What's going on, everyone? Back here for episode 3 of Upstate Talks, here with my partner Dale. We got a lot to talk about here. We're recording this right after the match just happened between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. We're going to talk a little bit about the NBA Finals. We're going to talk about MLB, and of course, we're going to talk about Memorial Day that just ended. So sit back, relax, and let us know down in the comments what you think of this. Drop some questions. Uh, yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Check out the Patreon, and uh, let's dive right into this.
Yeah, no doubt. We just posted our first player props video for the NBA Finals as well. Super cool stuff over there that Prize Picks does. If you're into player props, something like that, hop over there. Go check out that video. Those videos usually do pretty well. And that's how we built this thing. It's, most of you guys probably are watching this who came over from our Prize Picks videos. So thank you guys for coming in and watching. And as we're on the road to 3,000 subs, hopefully we can hit it. As the summer goes on. But yeah, I'm happy to be here, man. Episode 3. It feels kind of crazy. It's already episode 3. I remember recording episode 1. I've been a little inactive on the channel lately. I'm in a new spot now. I'm no longer in the dungeon. Sometimes my video would be lagging, and you can see me, downstairs in the basement. But no, now I'm in a new spot. I get this my office here right now, kind of shared with like my girlfriend's shoes. She's got about like a gazillion shoes, so she stuffs her shoes in here. So, uh, yeah, it's all good now. I'm here. I'm happy to be here, and yeah, I'm excited to just get ripping on the podcast. Hopefully, me and you, Reoz, could get a couple live ones going. Got a nice setup over here, so hopefully we can get together. And we always talked about bringing guests on. We kind of want to bring someone within the community on to get things going. Maybe we could someone else just who does player props videos or betting videos. Someone that's kind of benefit from each other though. Like you guys want to gain some of our subs, we can take some of our viewers and just kind of collab, essentially. And I remember back when I used to do like it's a little off topic. Back when I used to do like gameplay commentaries for Call of Duty and stuff, that was huge. Back when like Machinima was a thing, like everyone would be trying to collab and shout other people out. I don't see why we couldn't do it in the sports betting community as well. There should be no competition or nothing. It's just let's have a good time.
Yeah, that's the one thing that this community is definitely missing. So hopefully we can start something special here. But let's jump right into the match. I mean, I hope everyone listening either watched some clips or watched. I watched every second, every single shot. Um, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady finished it off on the 12th hole. They only played 12 holes, which was a little weird. Me and Dal were talking about it, but I mean, it was almost 4 hours. It seemed like so it was kind of good. They didn't play 18 holes, but it was nice to not see a pro. I mean, Tom Brady and Tiger was a really good duo. He played with, I believe it was Phil
Rogers
the next
Nicholson.
time.
Oh, okay.
He played with Phil or he played with Bryson. I think Aaron Rodgers played with Bryson, but it was really nice to
Yeah.
see those four quarterbacks, the young guys versus the old guys. Um, it was nice to see Tom Brady kind of, hit some shakes and uh, blow putts by, but overall, it was really entertaining to watch. I really hope they do a little bit more of that. I'd like to see some NBA players. We talked on the last pod about Steph Curry. I would love to see Curry, team up with Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or even Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I know you would love that duo if Steph Curry and Patrick Mahomes were
We'll buy
playing golf
tickets.
together. I
We'll
mean,
buy tickets.
that would be unbelievable.
We
But
would
I
be
want to know what you thought
live.
about it. Yeah. Oh
We
yeah,
would be
we'd be
live from the
there.
match. We'd be going. Yeah, that'd be phenomenal. I'd love to see NBA players. I mean, like even the commentary, like when Ernie and Chuck on there was just cool to listen to. Each player had like an AirPod in and stuff, and they were able to just kind of live kind of commentate as they played. I thought it was really interesting, really cool. Came right down to the wire. There was actually some really good like betting odds at one point, and yeah, I mean, if you were sitting there and you're a golf fan, I know a lot of people just kind of seemed like it was nothing, but if you're a golf fan or even just don't even really watch, just as an NFL fan, I mean, it was honestly interesting to see these guys doing something rather than playing football and kind of see a little bit more of their personality. And I thought it was really cool. I'd be really interested in seeing some more stuff like that. And like you said, without the pros, it just kind of reals makes you feel like these dudes are human. And like we go out there and golf frequently, and it's just like these guys hit bad shots. Like it's realistic. It's anything can really happen. I actually really enjoy it.
Well, that was the crazy thing that I mean, people were taking golf balls in the gallery. They were just standing so close to them, acting like they're like on the tour. And right off the gate, Tom Brady's like, "Look out! Like you are in play here." And he just lines one right over a cameraman. Like it was kind of crazy to see all the big slices, all the hooks, and everything like that. Definitely a lot of gloves and golf balls handed out because a couple people definitely got hit, but it was it was cool to see. I mean, it definitely takes guts to be in that gallery. Any ball could go really anywhere. They're definitely far from pros. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is one hell of a golfer. I'll give him that. And even Patrick Mahomes, he kind of shocked me for being as big as he is. He was really hitting the ball well. I mean, it was definitely crazy. I believe he was, oh, I don't even know. It was probably 200, 220 or something like that. And he just ropes a 7 iron, probably 250 well over the green. It was really entertaining to watch.
Yep. I remember that shot in particular. He was like, "Oh, that was a 7 iron." He was like, "That's quite the 7 iron."
Yeah, he just kept saying it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was cool. Once Mahomes eased up, he was drinking beer and stuff like that too. I thought it was very chill, very raw. I thought it was definitely something they should definitely revisit again. NBA players should definitely be cool. With Curry and stuff like that, already has a kind of like a fan base, and when it comes to even just like golf too, like definitely could be good for viewership and brands for sure. So, yeah, I'd definitely be interested in that.
Without a doubt. But I mean, I think this is what everybody's waiting for. Let's talk about some NBA finals here. We got the Golden State Warriors against the Boston Celtics. Starting off the season, I couldn't even think both of these teams would be in the finals. Probably Golden State, but after last year, just how bad they were. But now everyone's healthy. This should be a really good series. I don't see this ending in four. This is definitely going to be a series that goes six or seven in my eyes.
I got the Warriors in six. That's my final prediction. Um, been a big Warriors guy all year. Realistically, I mean, Warriors definitely were. I wouldn't say like preseason favorites going in. I mean, honestly, there was like whether you call them casual basketball fans or not, it's like they were like, oh, Lakers, Nets, Nets were a huge favorite in the East. Like I said, even the Lakers stuff in the West was like big. They don't even make in the playoffs. Nets didn't even show up to the playoffs. So there's just a ton of things just transpired throughout the course of the seasons. Injury always plays a role. But however, I mean, Boston was one of the best stories in the most recent years in terms of their turnaround come the trade deadline. The way they just turned around that defense and all dialed in. I mean, you really can get shaken up. You're sitting like sixth in the East. Especially when you got two studs like Jalen and Tatum, and they want to break them up, and then they go to the finals, and now Tatum's hugging Brown saying they couldn't do it together, and they wanted to split them up. I'm happy. I'm happy for the story, but I'm curious if you think this is kind of like a happy to be here situation for Boston. It's just kind of like they finally made it. Tatum's been to three conference finals. Brown's been to four. Is this kind of that situation where they're just like, Golden State's a big dog. Like even if they lose this, like good season by Boston, they're happy to be here, or is it championship aspirations?
I mean, uh, we saw Tatum with the Kobe uh, little ban on. He's definitely thinking championship or bust right now. They're definitely happy to be there, and it's kind of crazy that big trade a while back with Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and everybody. It actually worked out where they got Tatum and Brown from those picks, which is pretty crazy to go back and see what this team was and where they are now. But these two teams, I mean, we talked about it a little bit before. They just match up so well. They have an answer on each side of the ball to match up with each and other. We talked a little bit over on the video that we just recorded for Prize Picks, but uh, we're gonna see Marcus Smart definitely on Steph Curry. We're gonna see Brown on Clay Thompson. We're gonna see Andrew Wiggins on Jason Tatum. We're gonna see Draymond Green on Al Horford, and we're gonna see Looney on Robert Williams. I mean, we talked about it a little bit off camera. We talked about how deep Golden State is, which is, that's what Steve Kerr does. He loves to play his bench. He gives the role guys big minutes, and like you said, it's tough when you have Jordan Poole come off the bench and score 20.
And that's why I like the Warriors, man. It's simply just it's simply just depth. It literally is. I mean, they have super. Each team has a superstar, bona fide superstar. I mean, there's actually some people who don't believe Tatum is a superstar yet, because when Tatum has a bad game, it's a bad game. Like a Tatum bad game really could be 10 points. That's why some people believe he's not like there yet. But I would say right now each team has a superstar. Very well constructed teams, very 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 well coached teams. But just Golden State with the championship experience and just the depth. I mean, you go down the list. I mean, they're going to play five guys, 40 minutes. However, they're going to have Jordan Poole out there who can get buckets. They're going to have Andre Iguodala back in this series. I got to get some news on Otto Porter. But, I mean, even Kuminga, Lee, Gary Payton, too, is going to come and play, good minutes on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe he'll be checking up Jaylen Brown majority of the time. I mean, you just go down the list. Toscano Anderson, like just Bielisa is going to be a huge part of this series. Like, believe it or not, I guarantee Bielisa is going to play big minutes in this series. And you just go down the list, and you're like, the Warriors have this guy. It's just like so many impactful players, and I believe you take Jordan Poole. I mean, even Moses Moody. I say you take Jordan Poole, Otto Porter, Bielisa, Toscano Anderson, and Kuminga. I mean, they can really, they could probably beat the Portland Trailblazers. I mean,
Yeah,
in one game. I mean, I mean, it's absolutely crazy what this team is, how it's constructed. I believe the Boston Celtics do have a very good chance to win this finals. I don't think it's like clear cut, but the Warriors are dominant. I can see them taking this series.
I like Boston. We saw throughout the whole entire um, playoffs they're a really tough team to beat twice.
Well,
We saw it against.
they gave the Warriors fits all year. I mean, they're the only team that's really given Steve Kerr trouble.
Well, they just match up so well, and you talk about the Warriors bench. Boston doesn't have that bench. They got Grant Williams coming off the bench when they're at full strength. They have Pritchard coming off the bench. They don't really have the depth. But the big thing for me here is we saw like Jimmy Butler play 48 minutes, played every single minute in that game seven. But there's not a time where you don't see Tatum or Brown off the court at the same time. One of them's always going to be out there, and I think when you get Tatum or you get Brown against the guys that are coming off the bench for this Golden State team, that's when they're going to do the damage. That's when they're going to start bringing this game close. I wouldn't be shocked if we see some unfortunate things to bring up. What I also wanted to talk about, the Max Strus three. What unbelievable! I don't know how you could go back after I don't know 5-10 minutes has already gone off. Just general time, not game clock, but go back and say you stepped out of bounds. No, the three's not good, and it comes down to the game. 16 seconds left. They're down three. It could be a tied ball game. I mean, that's just awful. I don't like reviews. I know they were trying to do it in the MLB. It's not good. I'd rather have human error. Everybody's gonna make mistakes. I'd rather have them screw it up and have a bunch of guys like us talk about it. But it's just it ruins the game.
Well, listen, man. Like, speaking of that game, I think it's just like a testament of why Boston is just kind of like not. I'm not gonna say like happy to be there, but in a sense, like not ready for the moment almost. I mean, dude, they gave up. It was a 12-0 run in the last 2 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is significant. I mean, Miami Heat, phenomenal team. Spoelstra, probably a top three coach in the league. But at the end of the day, it's just they had 2 minutes, and it was just like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was Miami Heat. Like, they had all the momentum, and Jimmy Butler was a three away from winning that game, and that's crazy to say. They were probably plus 1,000 at the time when they started making that run. And not only that, they missed a couple shots in that run. Victor Oladipo missed a corner three. Strus had a big three, but the fact that they took away that three from Strus, very significant. I think it was Boston's game regardless at the time. However, it was just like it's just a momentum thing. I mean, basketball is a game of runs, and you take something like that away, it's tough. But I do agree with you. Human error is a part of the game. And the same thing in the NFL. It's just like you see. I mean, there's a hold every play. Like, could you imagine like if they just had cameras just watching every single like little thing in the NFL, and it's just like, let's take away this, there's a hold here and a hold here, or there's pass interference here, or this and that. It's just like, it's just not. I mean, if a player steps out of bounds in the NFL, like, I get it, like the camera should be watching that, like, but then again, like, we've seen championships get won that way, and just like errors and mistakes, and that's just a part of the game, man.
Yeah, I get that it's a part of the game. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really didn't want to see the Miami Heat in the finals. I think the better team won,
I do too.
regardless. Um, the Heat just were so on and off in that series. I mean, they were either playing so well or they were playing so bad, but a lot of injuries on really both sides of Miami was dealing with a bunch of injuries. We saw Boston dealing with a ton of injuries. But if this Boston team comes in game one, full strength, Marcus Smart's playing, Robert Williams is playing, this is going to be one hell of a series. I really can't wait for it.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be amazing. I mean, they said that this is the first finals in I don't even know, in a very long, could be ever. It could be ever that it's the number one defense, number one offense going against each other, and that's like statistically like in how it ranks in the league, number one offense, number one defense. So, very cool. Very excited to watch this finals.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. I'm glad we only have to wait until 24 hours and we'll be wrapping up the game one of the NBA Finals. But let's talk about over the weekend. It was Memorial Weekend. We had a bunch of not really any sports on. That's kind of the topic I wanted to talk about. I mean, you see Christmas, we have NBA. Even like off holidays, we have a bunch of NBA and football. We have Thanksgiving. We had day baseball for MLB, but there was no coverage. There was literally nothing. We see a lot in the NFL. There's a bunch of games getting flexed or everything like that. We had Game Seven for the Rangers and the Hurricanes, or Carolina Hurricanes, and I mean, yeah, it was on Memorial Day. It was at 8 o'clock, but wouldn't you think they'd flex that to a 3:30, 5 o'clock game?
I mean, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I mean, the fact that it's like a holiday, but like, I do appreciate the flex. I mean, none of the sports that I was like, really like diving into were on Memorial Day. However, it's just like, I don't know, like the fact there was no coverage and stuff like that, it's just like weird. Um, at the end of the day, I honestly wouldn't have minded if there was just like nothing, like if there was like no sports being played on the particular holiday. I know holidays usually at this point in time are just like part of sports, like usually Christmas NBA, like Thanksgiving NFL. You have those vibes when you see a certain holiday. Um, However, if they were just going to do that, I mean, they might as well just took all the games off of Memorial Day.
Yeah, I mean, Memorial Day, everyone's out grilling, enjoying the warm weather. Now it's summertime here, up in New York, which is nice. We've had some really nice days, which I love seeing. I can't stand the winter, but regardless, even Sunday when we had that game seven, I would have loved to see that game at 3:30. I think that would have just been a prime time. But then they got to think about it. People are off on that Monday, so it is what it is. But I don't know. Um, I thought we should see some sports. Going. Everyone's off. Everyone's going to be betting. There's a ton of props to be going around. So I don't know. I just love sports, but
Well,
it
usually
is
all
what
the
it is.
holidays. Usually, I mean, like Thanksgiving NFL starts at 12:30.
Exactly.
Christmas NBA starts at 12:30. Like it goes on all day, and it kind of just progressively goes. And even for like in the beginning of the NBA, they didn't overlap games like that. There was like when the playoffs started, like there was a game at 3:30, a game at 5 or 6, and then it went to 9 or 10:30, something like that. But like they didn't really overlap, which was nice.
Yeah, without a doubt. I just think there should have been. I mean, there was games at 1, 2 o'clock for MLB, but I mean, unless you had the MLB pass, you weren't watching them,
Yeah.
and that was my case. But it is what it is. But speaking of MLB, I mean, I'm a big MLB guy. I know you are not. I'm trying to get you in there watching some MLB
I
games.
watched the
I know
Mets
some of the
game.
games.
I watched the Mets the other night. I told
I
you I
remember
watched
you.
the Mets.
Yeah, yeah. You said it was tough to watch. just someone who doesn't watch the MLB as much as I do, or some of the people listening, what do you think that what would make the MLB better? A lot of people say go back to steroids. Let's get some guys juiced up, hitting
Yeah.
bombs. That's what people want to see. Um, a couple people are talking about metal bats. I think that's just scary territory. Big dudes like Aaron Judge and Stanton with a metal bat. I mean, that thing's going like 1,000 feet.
Honestly, like I don't know. I mean, it comes down to the like as a casual fan. I mean, I've been playing a lot of MLB The Show as like a gamer, so like that's kind of been helping me. Like if I do see a game on, like the fact that I can just kind of flip it on quick and just be like, all right, let's check it out. Kind of helps me a little bit more, like kind of dive into it. The more you watch and listen, I guess the more you want to continue to go. I think it's just a matter of like getting people into it initially, and then they'll fall through. Like it's not a matter of like what you're watching. I mean, maybe you can kind of spice it up with I don't know drone footage or different types of angles, maybe different audio. So you can kind of spice some things up. I don't think it's particularly the sport itself. Um, they're very fun to watch live. I've been to a couple baseball games. I went and saw the Blue Jays in Toronto my senior year of high school. That was fun to see. I really enjoyed that. Um, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really know how you can spice it up. I do think you just got to get someone in it, particularly, and then they'll start to dive in a little bit more. I guess
Well,
like
I know.
sports betting, I guess always kind of helps. Like you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
without a doubt,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Well, I know in the Sunday night games they usually have one or two guys mic'd up talking throughout the game, which is nice. I wouldn't mind, every game if they got someone mic'd up. I don't think it takes away from their playing ability or anything like that. But it almost falls into the same category as golf.
yeah,
It takes a bunch of time. It's like a 4 hour game. If they cut it to 7 innings, that might draw a little bit more attention. I know in golf people are saying just play 15 holes and call it a day. I mean, we just saw the match we were talking about earlier. They played 12 holes, and I mean, it took 4 hours. I mean, granted, they're doing interviews, they're doing all this stuff, but
throwing the ball around, just like they're just doing bullshit.
yeah, they're just doing their thing out there. But you know, I'm a big MLB guy. I love watching it. I love doing the player props on it. Check out patreon.com/upstate. We're going to be hammering on the MLB moving forward with the NBA coming to an end. But, this is going to be a short little pod this Wednesday. I appreciate everyone listening. If you stayed through to the end, we appreciate you guys. And, you know, we're going to keep pumping these out no matter what. Me and Dale love doing these. Drop a comment down. Let us know what you guys think. We appreciate it. And, we'll catch you on another Thursday.
Yeah, man.
Peace.
Peace out, guys. Peace.